This video is going to be all about working out the arms, and we're going to be using some weights here today. I'm also going to be showing you a resistance band. It's a pretty affordable option if you don't have any dumbbells at home. You can find them at Walmart, Amazon. They're not very expensive. Good option if you're very new at lifting, and it's a good option for variation if you just are really used to lifting but need something different. So I'll show you that as well. We're going to be doing 3 different muscle groups within the arms. First one's going to be the biceps. It gets its name because it has 2 different muscle heads. First one is here, the second one is here. That's how it gets its name, biceps for 2. The second muscle group we're going to be doing is the triceps, and it has 3 muscle heads that are within that muscle group. So it has one here, and one here. And that's triceps. The third and final one we're going to be doing is the deltoids. So there's a couple different parts of the deltoids, but basically it's a shoulder. You have posterior and anterior, but we're just going to be focusing on the shoulder as the deltoids. We're going to do 2 different lifts per muscle group, and I'll be able to show you variations with the bands and with standard dumbbells. The first one I'd like to do for you is just a standard standard curl, and we're going to do that from the standing position. So you're going to grab either your dumbbells or your bands. I'll show you both. Stand with feet about shoulder width apart, knees bent. The other way you can stand is with one foot slightly in front of the other, still knees bent. Hands at your sides in what's called a neutral grip. And then you can either go one at a time or both at once. The important thing to remember is you want to exhale on the part of the lift that's hard. So you're exhaling up, inhaling down. The way you're going to do that with the bands, it's one of the bands I have. Nothing fancy, you can get it at Walmart. Is you'll want to step on the band with the balls of your feet. Stand just like you would with the dumbbells in your hand, and you can do either one at a time or both at once. Same thing, match your breathing. So in, down, out, up. That'll help with stability throughout the lift and will help you lift more weight. The next lift I'm going to show you for the biceps is a hammer curl. We're going to do it a seated version. I'm going to get a ball out, an exercise ball. This will work with a chair or a bench as well. You're going to want a little bit lighter weight for this because this is a more difficult, more advanced move. You want to have your feet flat on the ground, good posture, and you're going to lift up once with this hammer grip, down, up with the other arm, down, then up together, and down. And that's going to count as 1 repetition. So again, right, left, together. 1 repetition. The variation with the band will be standing. So again, step on the band, hands at your sides, up, up, together. This one's a little bit harder with the bands because of the grip. You can switch your grip a little bit and go like this, so you have your palms down versus inward, and that can help with some of the issues with the bands here. So that would look like this. 1 repetition. We're going to move on now, and we're going to go to triceps, so the back of your arms. And I'm going to show you 2 different things here. One of them is a body weight exercise. It's called a diamond push-up. So if you'll remember from our previous videos, standard push-up is hands about shoulder width apart. What we're going to do here is we're going to bring our hands in closer and move all the way, if you can, to this position, directly underneath your chest. If you need to work up to that by having your hands more like that, a little bit farther apart, that's perfectly fine. The whole point here is you just want to isolate the backs of your arms throughout the push-up. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. Look a foot out in front of your face. Have a tight core. Inhale down, exhale up. And that's a diamond push-up. The next thing I'm going to show you for your triceps is going to be a lying down tricep extension. So this is best if you have an exercise ball or a bench, and I'll show you that first. But if you do not, you can do this lying down on the floor. It works almost as well. What you're going to do is sit on the ball, weights on your knees, and roll forward so that the back of your body is on the ball. At this point, keep your core tight, push your hands up, and then you bring the weight very slowly and very carefully by the sides of your head. Inhale down, exhale up. If you have more limited equipment, this is where you just lay on the floor and do the exact same move. I'll show you what that looks like. Important safety tip on that one. Do not drop the weight on your face. Be careful for that. The last muscle group we're going to take a look at is the shoulders, the deltoids. So we're going to do a seated raise, and then we're going to do a standing side raise. You want lighter weight for this because your arms are going to be in a weakened position, and this is a smaller muscle group. So the first one, the seated raise, you're going to set up like you were for the hammer curl. But instead, you're just going to keep your arms locked straight and bring one arm up, shoulder height, and down. Other arm up, shoulder height, and down. And then together. That's going to count as one repetition. So again, right arm, left arm, together. One repetition. And you need to focus on feeling the muscle contraction right here in the front of your shoulders. If you have a band and you don't have dumbbells, you can do this one as well standing. Set up just like before. Hands at your sides, and you just go straight up and straight down. Palms down instead of facing each other. So just like this. Straight up, straight down. Straight up, straight down. The last one we're going to go over today is a standing side raise. Now we are focusing on the front of the shoulders in the last one we did. Now it's going to be more the sides. Again, lightweight. You can either stand with feet about shoulder width apart, knees bent, or one foot slightly in front of the other, knees bent. And you just keep your arms straight, lift up, slow controlled motion down. It looks very similar with the band. Remember to match your breathing. Last note and last tip. All of these exercises can be used for both bulking or toning. The difference is, If you're trying to increase muscle mass, so bulking, you'll want to do about 3 sets of between 5 to 10 repetitions of relatively heavy weight. If you are trying to tone a muscle group, such as the arms, you're going to want to do the same number of sets, about 3 sets, but you're going to want to increase the repetitions and decrease the weight. So you'll want to do 3 sets of about 15 reps. The really important thing to remember is that whether you're bulking or toning, you want to make sure that the last 3 repetitions are really hard to do in every single set. So if you're bulking and you're just doing 3 sets of 8 repetitions, you want to make sure that on the 8th, the 9th, and the 10th, it's really hard to finish the set. That's how you know you picked the correct weight. If you're toning, same thing, but for 13, 14, and 15 as far as repetitions are concerned. If you have any other questions, let me know in class.